I'm just warning you now, there will be a lot of discussion of transphobia and suicide in this video, so if you don't want to hear about these things right now, feel free to click away. You are under no obligation to watch this video.
41% of people who identify as transgender or gender nonconforming attempt suicide. That's over 2 million people. That's shocking. And when I read the PDF, the two-dimensional black and white PDF, I had a lot of emotions come up. Probably a lot that you're feeling right now.
Hey everyone. So before I start this, I want to be very, very clear. Trigger warning for transphobia, suicide, and abuse and harassment. Still here? Okay. 41%. One of the things I see on this channel, anytime I go through the comments that need to be improved, because we approve them all, is the term 41%. The simple fact is that this is a reference to a study done by the National Transgender Discrimination Survey, or the NTDS, that out of 6,450 respondents found that 41% had attempted suicide at some point. So why is this relevant to the channel? Because all of those respondents were transgender, and this is a thing that's regularly thrown out at us. I've said for a while that this channel, and many like it, Demon Mama, ContraPoints, and the like, get abuse, and nothing is being done about this. There are bots that will flood your chat in Twitch that will yell about your chromosomes, despite the fact that they've done no such testing. They will yell about features that you may or may not have. They will tell you to do the 41%, and then they will probably yell the N-word. On YouTube, we just get them in comments, or they appear in chats when, you know, they feel like it. And then we have to deal with a raid. Yeah, YouTube has a problem. Demon Mama just put out a video about this today or yesterday, talking about how the Twitch panel scene is toxic to femmes. This is objectively true. This is demonstrably true. Even if you dislike Demon Mama's takes at some point, the amount of absolute harassment this woman has gotten is obscene. And this is nothing to think about what both cis and trans people did to Contra back in early 2020 and late 2019. I need people to understand something, that this place is a toxic atmosphere. Us being here is hard. In the last segment, we talked about how Zena gets ignored, and I briefly brought up at the end that not only does Zena get ignored, but I get all of the harassment. All of it is about me and my features, all about my strong jaw, or my Adam's apple that no one can fucking see. My voice, despite the fact that cis people, when I'm in femme mode as far as my voice, they don't give a shit. I've literally had people in voice calls tell me I sound androgynous, so I'm willing to listen to people who are brand new to the server, or people who tell me this literally on the street rather than dumbasses. And yet, here we are still, because we need to talk about this. The trans misogyny on Twitch and YouTube is disturbing. I think it's really important to bring this stuff up. So I want to talk about this. If you were to make a guess, my love, sorry, I know that was a bit of a rant. You see that number, that 41%, That idea that there's at least some attempt of suicide has been made by 41% of our brothers and sisters and our NB friends. Why do you suppose that is?
Generally, that's got more to do with lack of acceptance. Generally, that's got more to do with lack of acceptance and supportive, structures around people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're dealing with something that is very rough in your body and very much apparent, and not having those supports is a huge problem. And we know that, we see that with, transgender youth too. Like, they also really need community supports. And that statistic to me is not, a statistic like that is never going to say to me, like, we should stop people from, being trans. That's not possible, but we shouldn't harm them for that. That statistic says, at least to me, hey, no, we need to address this as a community. We need to make sure that these people have support and care and can get that even if their family isn't able to give that to them for, shitty reasons. And that's why, I find this especially horrifying, because we're taking that kind of a statistic and using it as vitriol to sling at people.
Yeah. So I need you guys to understand something. This is from literally transequality.org. This is from that. A staggering 41% of respondents reported attempting suicide compared to the 1.6% of the general population, with rates rising for those who have lost a job to biases, 55%, were harassed, bullied in school, 51%, had low household income, or were victims of physical assault, 61%, or sexual assault, 64%. I need you guys to really understand this. What these assholes have done has taken the incredible, awful ways that our cis society, our cis-normative, cis-sexist society, has framed trans people and weaponized a staggering fact. Now, granted, this was back from, I believe, 2008. I don't know if this has changed. I can look. But regardless, this is awful. 4 times more likely to live in a household and with less than $10,000 a year compared to the general population. Pervasive discrimination, with the combination of anti-trans bias, persistent structural racism, was especially devastating. People of color generally fare worse than white participants across the board, with African-American transgender respondents faring worse than all others in areas examined. YouTube has a fucking problem. YouTube's methods do not go far enough. For every asshole we ban and that hide the channel from, they can simply go make another YouTube account and just find the channel and post again, and these assholes will just keep doing this.
Yep.
YouTube doesn't step in. The report button does jack shit unless it's actually like a porn phishing scam. And the simple fact of the matter is that they don't ban these people at their IP. Probably because they're afraid of losing the ad revenue. This environment is toxic. It is toxic to people like ContraPoints. It is toxic to people such as myself or Demon Mama or anyone that has any level of femme in their palate. So what is my point with all this? In the last segment, we talked about how our community and the YouTube community at large has been ignoring my partner, and it's a problem. Go watch that video. But the other half of this is the abuse and the harassment that people like myself and Demon Mama get. And the fact that cis white het guys, or at least white people, such as Destiny or a number of other toxic streamers, many of which are conservative, will just aim their hateful communities at one of us. It's one of the reasons why I'm very skeptical about doing panels. It's one of the reasons why I sure as fuck don't do debates.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. Debates and panels sound horrifying unless I have verified every person on that and going to be, could potentially be allowed in there ahead of time. Yeah.
So, Victor, Destiny is ostensibly pro-trans. I'm not going to say that he isn't. However, the targeting that he has put towards Demon Mama, including accusing her of being horrible for trans rights, claiming that she's not a real trans, I believe was one of them. I guess calling her, I'm not going to say that word right now, but basically the negative thing we all say towards one another when, we don't have an argument. Yeah. And he's not the only one. This isn't a shit on Destiny thing. It's a problem everywhere. Like, we have class reductionists on this fucking website who are absolutely trying to be devastating to LGBT rights. I'm not going to name them all because I don't want to have a bunch of fucking tankies yell at me. But you know who they are. A certain redhead, a stupid clown, a lady from Vietnam. I mean, I can go into more and more of this. Any person that tells you to throw trans rights or gay rights or black rights or any of that shit out for their goals is not a leftist. Full stop. And these people cultivate communities that then act as weapons. This isn't just the right doing this. This isn't just TERFs. This is everything going on right now. If you are femme in any way, shape, or form, this environment is toxic for you. So, dear YouTube, get better. Stop allowing this shit just for ad revenue. You are the largest platform here. Who are you competing with? Fucking Rumble? Facebook? Maybe Twitch if we're talking about streamers, but like video content? Are you on drugs? You have absolute control. What, Vimeo? Fuck me, Vimeo. What? I haven't used Vimeo since 2013. There needs to be a change. And I ask you, anytime you see hate in a YouTuber's comments, fucking report it. Anytime you see YouTube talking about they're going to do more, tweet at them. YouTube needs to improve this, and so does Twitch. These companies are incredibly apathetic to the rights of trans people, to African Americans, and to any other group you can think of. I know for a fact what these things look like. Conyer, a non-binary person that uses any and all pronouns, literally had put out a video talking about the reclaiming of Pepe and got a whole bunch of trans misogynistic shit thrown at them. The joke being is they use any pronouns, and Conyer has the deepest, coolest voice of all time. Doesn't affect them, but Conyer gets this hate. Contra gets this hate. Demon Mama gets this hate. We get this hate, and it only increases as you grow.
Yep.
YouTube, do better. Our community needs to do better at recognizing Zena's value, and YouTube as a community needs to understand that the value of trans people is one of their largest growing populations here. Contra's almost to 1.5 million subscribers last I checked. It's been a minute. Think about that. She's massive. How many of those are cis people learning about trans people through her? And YouTube does nothing. Yeah, Philosophy Tube cracked 1 million too. She's fucking fantastic. I need to catch up on like 4 of her videos, but I do love her.
Let me be clear, from a tech standard, they absolutely can do more. From a company, no.
Bye, Thanagor. Love you.
Love you. They absolutely have money and resources that they could devote into this. That needs to be a priority.
And I think the last thing I want to bring up with this segment, and then we'll get on to other stuff, is very simply this. If you see a trans person in trouble, if you see a trans person struggling, the simple fact is, and I'm going to be really clear about this, you need to step in, you need to do something, you need to speak up. And if you're a trans person who's thinking about hurting yourself, please seek help. If you're young, please, for the love of Christ, call the Trevor Project or the Suicide Hotline or any of this stuff. Thank you so much, Dead Battery, for the donation of $20 through Super Chat. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, hypers for James Stephanie Sterling. Fucking love them.
Right?
Their femme shit
super
lately's been
cool.
great.
Oh my goodness, super cool.
But let's be super clear, guys. If you're trans, I'm going to ask you to do something, and maybe this is crossing a line, bear with me. Don't die. I don't know how bad it is for you. I have no idea. And I can only tell you is that my hope it will get better, and with the right resources, we can hopefully make that better for you. There are resources. They exist, and they are everywhere. We are making things better, and I'm sorry it's moving so slow. But don't do it, please. I believe in the rights of people, but I honestly must say, do not hurt yourself. Seek help. Get a therapist. Call a hotline. And if you need to do it for this reason, do it for this reason. Do it out of fucking spite. These motherfuckers want us out of existence because they don't want us to be in their perfect little cis world. We make things confusing. Fuck them. There's more than enough time to be gone. There's only so much time here of pushing back and being there. We are more visible than we've ever been, and that comes with a lot of negs. That's true. But don't disappear. Stay here. Stay engaged. Find community. Stay alive.
We want you, and you're all important. We do.
Yeah, that's not just...
You all belong here.
Absolutely. And that's not just Demon Mama's one order. That's Jess and Zena's one order. Do not die. Nothing improves with you gone. This is why I don't like self-sacrificing activism. This is why I do not like the idea of martyrdom. Do not. In roadblocks or in anything else. Keep living. Keep being here. Even if it's an affront to them, especially if it's an affront to them. See you in the next one. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. You can also ring the bell if you want to be notified of our videos. If you want to help the channel, you can donate at streamlabs.com/transgirltherapist/tip. You also can become a patron at patreon.com/transgirltherapist. As low as $3, you can support our channel. Thanks for watching.